you.
I never say something like, fuck you. Because you know how some people respond? Well, they'll respond like this. No, fuck you.
Bottom line is, you just never know who you're messing with.
I think you fucked me. How the fuck I fuck you? You fucked me.
See, an old man told me in the penitentiary a long time ago that a fool will run into a bigger fool, and he'll take care of that problem. You may be skilled, you might get this one, but what about this one? What about that one? Can't get everybody, but you'll get got. The Guardian Angels used to get got a lot.
I've been involved in the martial arts since I was 5 years old, and I have a few black belts of my own. But that doesn't mean anything anymore. There are a lot of 5-year-olds running around with their black belt.
If you're not preparing them for that adrenal rush, you're just sending them out to die.
One key element of training is to really deal with that adrenaline, to understand it, and to put yourself in a situation where you're used to dealing with it. Because once it becomes dominant behavior, then it doesn't matter how much anxiety is there, you're still going to come back to and be able to deal with someone victimizing you in that situation.
And this is why any real self-defense training must train you for that adrenal response. Tunnel vision, auditory exclusion, loss of motor control. You have to learn to use motor control, gross motor skills, under adrenal stress to be trained to effectively defend yourself.
You have to start planning from that moment. If you stop me again, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay here and talk about him, tell him I ain't with it, or am I going to defend myself? You know, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you moving first may save your life.
So if he comes any closer, you meet him halfway.
Yeah, now at that point you've set the groundwork because you've said, look, I'm assuming, Bud, that you've got blood in your eyes here, and that you're going to take a piece of me. So why don't you just back off and leave me alone? So you've set the parameters. You've said back off because my assumption is if you come any closer, your intent is to harm me. And the guy comes close.
If I testify in trial, my information always comes from my police report and the documents that I presented to the prosecutor.
Huh. Sounds like that police report is pretty important.
Remember, the prosecutor's not interested in justice. That is not his department. He's paid to prosecute cases. So he prosecutes the cases that he has the best chance of getting a conviction in.
He was trying to back down and just, be mature about it.
He was threatened. He was trying to avoid the whole thing. He stood up and said, I'm here trying to have a good time. I don't want a part of this.
They were trouble as soon as they walked in.
But make sure you're there armed with information, because your best defense is going to be in those next few minutes when the police come. Remember, they have a lot of discretion as to whether or not someone gets charged or whether they don't get charged. If you're able to make a convincing case at the point where they arrive as to what happened and why you are the victim in this matter, you may avoid prosecution. You may avoid spending a lot of money and a lot of personal turmoil.
There is no such thing as being untouched in a penitentiary. You will be touched, whether it's physically or mentally. You'll be touched.
I told you to de-escalate, didn't I? Now you gotta go play with the big boys.
Guys will offer you different things by you being new, coming through the door. And you might say, okay, well, this might be a friend or something, so you're going to accept these things. That's your first mistake, because whatever you accept, if you're not able to pay it back, you have to pay it back one or two ways, either sucking some dick or getting fucked in your ass. It's all one big circle.
The only fight you can win is the one that you avoid, and that is the true art.
If I helped you to no longer be a victim, I'm happy, because for that I'm willing to live and die for. See you.